So, Kevin, you've spoken in the last few weeks about game management and getting over the line. How pleasing was it to get that win last weekend?
Yeah, I think because it was a big game in terms of beating someone above you, and ultimately being a good side. So I'm really pleased with performance. And we had to show a different side to ourselves in the second half a little bit, but I thought it was one we were more than deserved.
So, Keenan Appiah-Forson has played in back-to-back matches and was voted player of the match by the fans following Saturday's game. How important is it for him to continue his good form and to continue contributing towards the team?
Yeah, listen, whoever is picked needs to perform at the stage of the season. You've got to perform well, whenever you go in the team, whoever that is. And Keenan's one of a number who that could be, attributed to. So I was pleased with him in terms of how he performed. But listen, that's competition for places, and whoever comes in has got to perform. That's I feel like I repeat myself sometimes in interviews, but that's the standards we expect. And Keenan's done well. And shown a good level of consistency when he's played the last two games, which is good. And hopefully there's more to come from him.
You mentioned there's players coming in that competition. You've used 19 players across the unbeaten run of the last 7 games. What have you made of their performances and that readiness to be able to contribute?
Yeah, I think you can do that when you train properly. When you live your life right and you're ready to come in when needed. I think Gubbo came in as well and played, which he done well. And so, yeah, that's just having the squad to do that at this stage of the season is quite important. I think loads of managers you'll interview loads and they'll talk about injuries and squad depth and missing a lot of players and there's illness and everything. So everyone has it. We've had it, but you need the squad to cope with it and you need to be coming strong at this stage of the season. And hopefully we're doing that. In each game we go into, we're ready for.
After a really good showing at the weekends against the team at the upper echelons of the table, how much momentum does that give the team coming into Forest Green?
Yeah, I think it should give you confidence. I think, picking up points, as I say, is the most important thing. Each game you judge on its merit. You're coming against a team that have been up the top end of the table all season and rightly so. And a very good home record, and not many teams go there and get too much. But we're looking forward to it. We're ready for it. And as tough a test it will be for us, I'm sure it'll be the same for them.
Cheers, thank you, Kevin.
Kevin, a position we find ourselves with about 10 games to go, 3 points off the playoffs. How are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, good. Listen, it's a position would have liked to be in sooner, but pleased in terms of we'll give ourselves a chance. And all we can do, obviously, there's teams ahead have got games in hand, and a lot of stuff happens this stage of the season on the running. Both ends of the table. And listen, I think whoever you play, you've got teams fighting for points at both ends of the table, and teams trying to get in the playoffs. So it's an exciting time. But in terms of us, we're pleased with where we're at. But we keep going into the next game and pushing hard and trying to pick up points to put pressure on people in around us and above us.
It's really something. I suppose there is sometimes you can get distracted by the fact we talk about the unbeaten run, but yeah. As a coach, how do you keep instilling that sort of mentality, just keeping it game at a time, keeping everybody focused on that goal that you've got?
Just consistency, I think, in how you work. I think train properly every day. I think that doesn't change. Sometimes results don't go your way. I think games we would have liked to have picked up a few more points possibly, but at the same time, we equalised late at Yeovil. So, listen, I think this stage of the season, putting points on the board, that's the most important thing, and finding a level of consistency in terms of how you prepare, how you train, and that hopefully transmits into games.
And you find as well, we talked a lot about competition in the squad as well, and about that sort of confidence in the squad. You find the players are all sort of like keeping each other up. We hear it every Thursday, how great the camaraderie is between the side. But do you think that's just taken another step up in these last few weeks?
Listen, I think results do that. Of course, I think, that backs up the work you do. And I think that helps with the team spirit, of course. I said before, we've got a lot of new players, new group. So that does take time. And what results do, that accelerates it, I think, because you're going to be tested throughout the season. But picking up results is the most important thing. And that is the best thing to build confidence and that togetherness, as well as having the edge of competition for places. I think that's another important factor.
Just on the team news side of things, how's Nathan Ralph?
Yeah, better. We'll see how he is. You do some training this week, so we'd love to see how he reacts and make a decision from there.
And then Goodliff as well. And of course, I know Adam and Cav, they're getting closer as well.
Yeah, Adam not so much. Cav's been doing some training with us and just going through a process that, when we get him back, we want him to stay with us, and so he's getting closer. Adam's a little bit off. Ollie Coker will probably do a little bit this week as well, so we'll see where he is as well.
And obviously Liam Parallon has been coming in to get more and more in the squad as well. I think he came off towards the end of the Altrincham game, just checking all right with it.
No, all right. Yeah, he was. I think he was a bit shattered off that one. And this, I think, when you come from part-time to full-time football, often it's not just the games, but it's the intensity of the work and intensity of training every day. When it becomes relentless, you often find, I think, they'll have that initial burst, but then they'll plateau off and we get him to come again. So I've been really pleased. But yeah, he's okay.
Of course, with Nathan having the injury, you've seen Harry Taylor stepping up wearing the captain's armband as well. How have you seen him? He's a big presence on the pitch already, but how have you seen him develop as a leader on the pitch out there?
Yeah, I think Harry's the same no matter what. I think you can lead different ways. I think, whether that's vocally or just how you act, I think Harry's one of them. I think he has the respect of everyone at the football club. And is probably a different type of leader to some, but yeah, listen, it's no bother to Harry, and it doesn't change how he is as a person. So I think that's the most important thing.
You've touched on it before. Forest Green Rovers obviously strong at home, but with the run that you're on, is now good a time as any to be going there?
Yeah. Is there any? Who knows? You know what I mean? It's
well, it goes back to what you said.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yeah, and listen, really good side, and some real good players, and we played them here, and we had such a tough, intense game. And I think for both teams, and they showed the capability they've got and why they're at the top of the table for all of the season. We hope we can go there and have a good day and perform and really come out the right side of the result we want. But of course, you've got opponents who are doing the same, and we're under no illusions how tough it will be to go there.
10 games to go as well. 30 points available to you. How far do you think this Southend side can go in these closing stages?
Who knows? Let's go and attack each game, as we can. Not looking too far ahead, of course, because a lot can change. All we can do is try and put pressure on those above us, because they're in the position of having people chase them down if you want. But we've got to go put, as I keep saying, points on the board, and let's see what happens. Knowing we've got some tough games and tough away fixtures coming up. So, yeah, game by game, let's see what happens.
And good news this week as well for Roots 4 with the development of Fossils Farm could open up funding to go into the stadium. How pleased are you to see that news and what it could do for the home ground? Yeah,
listen, I think that's further down the road for me and people that, obviously better place to deal with that. But yeah, good news in terms of, what the future will look like for the football club, because a lot of people are doing a lot of good work, and as a club, we're putting a lot of the foundations in, that we want for a successful future. And I think that's the right way of doing it. It's going to be a plan, a process, and how we get there. And, of course, we want the success, but we want to build a football club, and the consortium and everyone that the owners want to build a proper football club. And that is part of it, and hopefully I know we're going along the right way.